performing awfully well of late.
What an exciting time of year. You're really gearing up for postseason at this moment. You're really dialing in those routines, paying attention to the little details, and what a better way to prepare for postseason than this meet right here, competing against Missouri number 15 and Alabama number 8.
We get to see two of the best bars last week.
And talk about a competitor. Her grip actually fell off after this skill right here, another huge Takachev 3 meets ago, and she continued her routine. Shannon Welker from Missouri Tigers, though, said that his approach is emphasizing conditioning. A lot of times when you move into postseason, it's easy to forget about the basics, but they emphasize the basics and let the mental reps take over.
I got to talk to her at the beginning of the season, and she said she's really looking forward to having her sole focus be on college gymnastics and her team.
Whether you're a gymnast or not, I think it's pretty fair to say that you hold your breath during the beam routine, but with Helen, it's almost like a meditative practice. I can just sit back, enjoy, and have confidence in her that she is going to go and do what she knows how to do. Just a dismount, that handspring to a gainer full, stuck landing. I mean, come on, judges. And Helen, what is your goal, this team's goal moving into postseason? You guys had a remarkable season last year. How are you going to build that momentum moving into this time?
Honestly, we have some written goals.
Sophia Steinmeier on vault. She came up after Achilles. I mean, that was a special moment to share with that athlete, especially here in Hilton on senior night.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what was going in through her head before and after.
She hasn't competed that vault for a year.
Ones, and she explained it as baptism by fire. Marissa right here has stepped into high pressure scenarios and thrives in those situations. She has had a 9.975 7 times in her career and has competed in every meet on this event the last 2 seasons. And you can see why right there.
7.75 for the Cyclones.
The Cyclones are absolutely capable of surpassing Iowa on this event, and I'm sure it's reassuring to know that they are ending on one of their strongest events coming off of last week with Maddie Diep's 10-0. We're right back over here to the, it almost looks like time is in slow motion when she vaults. Here's another look. Actually in slow motion. Her feet are glued together.
You can see the SEC standings right here with Florida leading the rank at 197.845, and it's crucial that you get in those top 4 spots. So Missouri is really looking to climb up to that top 4 spot so they get that night session with the ideal to clinch that SEC title.
You get that night session, you get a chance to win the championship you play.
It was the second 10-0 in Hilton Coliseum. It was electric, and I cannot wait to see that performance again tonight.
Legendary program. It has some of the most NCAA champions and SEC titles across any other school.
Very illustrious athlete, having competed since her freshman year on this event. It's a very technically sound routine so far. Just the aerial, back full. Wow.
And I can definitely see that happening here tonight with the energy Alabama is bringing to compete against them and the energy this crowd is bringing. It should be a really great meet. You can see her pike down just a little bit. Those judges are really looking forward, extended hips and a chest up on that landing and seeing the vault table. And of course, the stuck landing.
So terrific on the beam last week.
And usually that is a disadvantage for a team to end on the beam, but not for the Alabama. That is their strongest event, so it almost is an advantage for them.
First meet of the season can be really nerve-wracking, but the girls have worked so hard in the preseason, and to come out here and experience this Hilton magic is an undescribable feeling, and I know that they're really looking forward to it.
She has been outstanding, not only this season, but for her entire career. She was the 2021 SEC bar champion, and I know that she's looking for that accolade as we gear up towards postseason as well.
To Florida does not get better than that.
It really doesn't. It's going to be a showdown, and who comes out better tonight? They are both incredible teams. Gabby starting with Yurchenko full, huge vault, and a great landing to start off this Alabama team vault lineup. She is the only competitor that will be competing in Yurchenko full, which starts from a 9.95 start value. Mizzou's head coach really said that we need a leadoff scorer that can score well in any spot, and Amari is it. She loves to compete, and you can see her excitement. And then here, another look. You can see how her legs kind of buckle a little bit, and she just doesn't really quite get that kick in her heels to get fully rotated over. Knowing you're going to have to count a fall is hard to still keep your head in the game. It's kind of like being down 21 in a football game. There's still hope to come back, but you just have to stay mentally sharp and know that you're just doing your gymnastics that you do every day. This is exactly what Alabama needed to set the pace. It almost was like that one routine from Gabby just totally flipped a switch, and this is a new team. They have been dialed in on those landings, dialed in on every skill, and performing, and they've gone back to their roots of just playing gymnastics. But this routine right here, I love her dancing. It is gorgeous, and you do not have to be a former gymnast to appreciate the artistry that goes into this routine right here.
Bring that fourth and final rotation.
But as we all know as gymnastics fans, anything can happen, so do not hold your breath. Fabulous performance by the exhibition routine. Her team is so excited. And like I was mentioning, they sometimes get more excited for the exhibition routines because it's a chance for that athlete to prove themselves and really show what they are capable of and finally be rewarded for all that hard work that goes unnoticed in the gym.
Cam Machado certainly proved herself right there. That was
Talk about energy. We move on to the 4 with Missouri. I about got hit in the head by a t-shirt that came catapulting up to us. This crowd is getting loud. It allows an environment for mistakes, which is so healthy for these athletes. You have to keep in mind, they're 18 to 23-year-old females, young adults that are trying to figure out college and who they are. And so when you have an environment that allows them to make mistakes, great things can happen. It's going to be a huge meet. Both of these teams are coming off of historic seasons so far, so it should be a really exciting matchup all the way up to the last routine.
That part of the mat right now.
Exactly, and you could see teammate Josie Bergstrom hugging her and saying, I'm so proud of you, and I'm sure this entire Cyclone Nation is, with all the adversity. Exactly, and gymnastics is all about the reset button. Once you move on to the next event, it's a fresh lineup, fresh set of girls. Had a little bit of struggles on the bar lineup. Larissa said it herself. They've had a few changes here and there. They've been riddled with a couple little injuries, and with COVID, it's really been uncertain. They've kind of been, Jesus, take the wheel on this season because they don't have any protocols in place. So it's put a lot of stress on the girls.
As a senior, and this being her last time in this building,
I got chills, and I'm sure I'm not the only one for sure. So talking about Sophia Steinmeier, one of the seniors, it is senior night, very emotional. How are the girls dealing with that?
Won the mat.
And you can have all the accolades, but I know for this athlete in particular, it means nothing without being able to share it with her team. Absolutely, both teams are definitely giving a run for their money, and it should be interesting to see how this night ends up and what school can have the bragging rights for state ownership.
Competing their first 10-0 start value, Yurchenko 1.5, a little bit short. She didn't quite turn over her round off and get the block that she was hoping for on that vault, but still a tremendous way to start the season. Exactly. There's going to be people coming in and out, injuries that will unfortunately happen. It's gymnastics. Really, the unexpected is expected at this level. I am so excited for Maya to finally get on the floor. She has just been riddled with injuries, which is kind of typical with college gymnastics, and it's been really unfortunate that she hasn't been able to see competition yet.
I know beam has been an event that the Cyclones have struggled on a little bit. What have you focused on going into this week?
College Gym News actually rated her as one of the 13 most underrated freshmen to watch in 2022. What's better than getting your first perfect 10 ever in your career is having your teammate follow it up with another perfect 10.